Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our talk show. Today is day 4. Can you believe it? We are already 4 days into our conversations around Revitalized, telling you all the juicy details about what we're doing and how we're doing it, and how we are impacting teachers around the globe through our mission. So let's remind you, Revitalize is a community funded travel incentive program that rewards teachers from across the globe with an opportunity to join us in Jamaica for an all expense getaway to enjoy the destination, to take a break and nourish themselves. And we have some amazing facilitators that we will be announcing throughout this campaign who are coming in to pour into our teachers and help them to sustain their wellness, their mental health, their nutrition, their fitness, and everything in between. We have some amazing announcements throughout this campaign that we are proud to announce. And today we want to also remind you and also give a proud shout out to Growing Vibrations magazine, our first collaborative partnership in the media sector that will be joining us, not only joining us on the retreat, but they will be doing a post-event edition of their magazine that will be entirely focused on Revitalize. So I would like to say thank you again to Miss Kathy Bird, the founder and president of Growing Vibrations magazine. And we will have her on soon on this talk show so that you can meet this brilliant young woman who is the mastermind behind Growing Vibrations. And we will talk more about how these teachers will be featured in the magazine at the end of the retreat. In fact, it will be a post-event special edition of Growing Vibrations, and it will be released in September 2023. So you can look forward to not only seeing all the juicy details of what's happening with our teachers, but along the way, as partners continue to come on board, we'll be highlighting our partners and everyone who is contributing to making this event a success. So cheers to Growing Vibrations magazine. We look forward to hearing more from you. But today, our focus is going to be on one of our nominated teachers. Today in the studio with me is none other than Victoria Joel. Victoria Joel is a teacher from Namibia, but not only a teacher. Victoria has taken the leap of faith and being able to launch her own school, and we want to hear everything about this brilliant woman and learn more about what she did to be able to not only have the ambition to open a school, but execute it with excellence to now being nominated for this experience. We want to say thank you as well to our partner in Namibia, Ms. Joanne Cloete from Gen Namibia, for nominating Ms. Victoria for this experience. Thank you so much, Joanne, for being able to help us identify teachers within your country for this amazing experience. So you've heard from me enough, and we definitely want to dive deep into a conversation with Miss Victoria Joel from Namibia. So without any delay, I invite you and I open up. Victoria, thank you so much for joining us. Hello, how are you?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be on here.
Thank you. And so, like we mentioned, first of all, you were nominated by the wonderful Miss Joanne Cloete. How did you feel when you first heard about this project and your nomination for this experience?
Oh, I was very excited. I was surprised, and it came at a very good time where I felt like I just need a break. This is too much. Where can I go? I remember I even just decided to go to my hometown, my coastal town in Swakopmund, just to get 2 days of a break. But that was not enough.
Absolutely. And we are happy that you agreed to be part of the delegation coming out of Namibia. So tell our audience more about Victoria. How did you get started, first of all, as a teacher, and share with us, your inspiration behind why you wanted to be a teacher and even what motivated you to open your school?
Well, I think being a teacher somehow was always part of my path, because I remember my first part-time job was a teacher assistant at a private school where my mom used to work in the area. And I started off as a teacher assistant in the ECD. That was fresh out of high school before I could actually I didn't go to any university. I studied mostly part-time and got more training to assist mostly at home, as most African children sometimes have to do. So um, I started mostly as a teacher assistant, and then obviously along the way, you believe that let me try something else. So I tried other paths, real estate, salesperson, and I went back into teaching. I remember I was working as a salesperson, and I went to attend a training for teachers, and my manager couldn't understand how these two are not linked. And I was always passionate for people living with disabilities. So in high school, I actually started a youth group,
Mhm.
a support group for people living with disabilities. So that was quite very close to my heart. But mostly we did fundraising activities. But as I grew older, I got the chance to be trained by a senior expert from Germany through my organizations. And that's when I found out about autism. I think one has experienced it, but you didn't know, because it's not a physical disability. It's more like an invincible one. So when I engage more with these kids, I actually realize, I'm like, I remember engaging a child like that in my background, family members and so on, but I didn't know it was autism.
Right.
What fascinated me was being trained at the school where they have children with special needs, and how smart these kids are. I'm like,
Absolutely.
wow, they can learn.
Yeah.
I dropped everything. I believe I was running a cleaning company that time. And almost everything you can think of in business, I sold fruits and vegetables. I dropped everything, and I literally forced this lady to employ me at her school as a teacher assistant. Said, I want to learn. You can pay me anything, or you don't have to pay me. Because
So coming from interning then, so did
yeah,
you start off just interning as a teacher and learning about, the niche or the industry that you wanted to get into specifically? Is that where, you started to hone your skills as a teacher?
yes, I would say I'm still glad I went through the business experience, part of in my life. Of course, I was doing the wrong type of business, but the moment I found out I could combine my passion, what I love doing, because I was doing it more as a charity organization, something that I was just doing to fulfill what I believe I was called to do, my purpose. It made me whole whenever I used to do those activities.
Yeah.
And when I got trained as a special need teacher, I'm like, oh, so I can combine this as a career, as a business, and still love what I'm doing at the same time. And that's when I went in and never came back
Yeah.
out.
Absolutely. And from my understanding, your school is the only special needs school in the northern region of Namibia. Is that correct? So you're the first and only still school in that area?
Currently, yes. In the private sector, I'm the only inclusive school. We're actually the first to explore the not only special need, but inclusive education, where we have both groups accommodated at one school. Of course, they are all taught differently, but they are kids that actually mature or learners that mature from the special need classes to the mainstream classes, and combine with others that are regular kids as well in the classrooms.
I didn't realize that you're inclusive. So you also teach students, all ranges of students and all learning abilities. Because what I love about how you phrase it is that every student can learn. It's just that you have to maybe spend more time with some, and you may have to adapt your learning or teaching skills, or rather methods, then to be able to reach that particular student. So I really love that approach. And how have you, what are some of the techniques? I mean, I can imagine that this is something that is happening, in many other regions. How have how what are some techniques then, rather, that you use when you're dealing with special needs students, and some things that person should pay attention to? Because I'm just thinking from the perspective that a lot of us may not even pay attention to these kids, or sometimes we just push them to the side and say the student can't learn, so let's just move on. But what are some of the methods that you have used in your school and you found that work for special needs kids?
What we call them actually differently able. Differently
Differently
able.
able. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
What we have learned is to look for the abilities
Mhm.
from each child, because they do have abilities. That's why they are kids that actually surprise us. They come to the school and they know already how to read. While the mother is filling in the form, the child is reading out the application form. I'm like, okay, how did you learn that? So we try to actually just observe what are their abilities and how do they actually carry out some of these activities for them to acquire the skills that they have already. And
Mhm.
through that is what we use as more like a window for us to go and open the rest in the door. So we look at the strength, we observe, and we really look at the strength of the child, because in many cases we only focus on what they can't do.
Right.
Yeah, but we always ask the parents, what is the child, what does he like? What is his interest? He likes TV. How long does he spend? Because mothers usually come, he's up and down, he can sit for 2 minutes. I'm like, when you give him TV, how long does he sit? He sits for a whole hour. Great.
Well, great.
So
Right.
he has the ability to focus. If he can sit a whole hour watching TV and pick up some of these words that he's actually reading, so he has abilities to learn and do certain activities in a different way. So we just find out that how, and we teach them in that approach.
Yeah, I actually absolutely love that perspective when you change from not what they can't do, but what can they actually do. And I like thank you for the correction on different able. So it's not that, they have different abilities, not necessarily special needs or anything like that. So I
Exactly.
appreciate that. Yeah, they're able. We just need to identify what they're able to do and focus on the positive, and then hone in on the positive aspects of their learning abilities.
100%.
Yes, I hope that just as all other teachers and facilitators are looking at hearing your story and everything else, that they also change their perspectives. Because I can remember coming up in school, and we had students in my class that were, differently abled, and sometimes they're often shunned or put aside. But if we see it as, let us find a way to find what they are able to do and spend a little extra time doing that, then we can pull out the best out of our students. So I'm commending you for that approach, and I'm hopeful that that inspires other teachers as well.
Thank you
So
so much.
You're welcome. And so now tell us a bit about yourself. As you said, which I heard you say at the beginning of this, that at a certain point, this announcement came at a really good time when you already started to feel a measure of overwhelm and burnout, and you needed to take a break. And how do you, just in this landscape and with all that you have to do, because you're managing a school, you're teaching, and running other businesses, from my understanding. How do you take care of your own just mental health and everything else? And how has that helped you to, or what are some things that you do to help you cope within your classroom and even outside of the classroom?
I would say being a Christian and having that part of your life, going to church, just hearing the pastor preaching what you needed to hear for that
Yeah,
day, and you feel like, oh, it's like he's talking to me. That
absolutely.
because on the day where you feel like you are just totally overwhelmed, the preaching comes where he gives hope. Are you the person that feels hopeless? You are overwhelmed. And then he speaks that
Correct.
motivation into you, that encouragement. So it helps to be a Christian, to be honest. And having a family from church, brothers and sisters that can reach out when they can see, sense that Vicky is not okay. Are you okay?
Yes,
Are you okay? Just having
yes.
people that can sometimes check up on you. So
Mhm.
having that aspect really helps. What also helps me is to meditate. I do that quite often. We don't have an ocean in where I'm currently staying, but I grew up in a coastal town where I usually went to sit at the beach and just cry out if I had to scream. I remember I used to sit
Absolutely.
with earphones so that people don't think I'm talking to myself, and
Yeah,
then I will say out whatever is just whatever is in my heart. So now
absolutely.
I look for some river water dams and I go sit there and I do the same thing.
I agree. I often tell people that my joy and lots of my energy comes from the elements. So I love being close to the water as much as I can. I was born in the Caribbean, so I've been here in Europe for a few months now, and I am longing just to see the ocean so that I can meditate, scream, cry, do all my do in that space, because it's just something very restorative for me when it comes to being in the ocean space, or just any open space is always fantastic. And I
Very true.
love you're rooted in spirituality and your belief in your faith that keeps you grounded. I agree fully that sometimes, I often tell people I can only tell you the methods that I know and the
Mm,
methods that I use. So if prayer and worship and teachings of God's word is what helps to keep you grounded, then that's the only thing I can share. And I'm super happy to hear that that is also some of the ways that you help yourself to stay focused, to be remotivated, to continue to serve your community and nurture your students and everything else. Because I strongly believe that that is one of the best solutions that anyone can employ. So, commending you for sharing that with us. Thank you so much for that.
thank you, Crystal.
Yes. And so for your teachers, because I know that you're a leader in your school, you've opened your own school and you have your own group of teachers that you manage as well. What are
Mm-hmm.
some ways that you, within your school, even now as we're thinking about it more, what are some ways that you encourage your teachers to take time off or to focus on their mental health and things like that? Or has there been any occasion where that was done already, or that you intend to do things like that for your teachers? Can you hear me? Um, I think that we're having some connectivity issues. I'm not hearing Teacher Victoria at the moment, but while we are waiting for her to reconnect, I will continue to share some more about Revitalized. So, our discussions are leaning towards the topic of mental health, and one of the core things that we want to focus on through this experience is for our teachers to be able to take a step back from their day-to-day grind and be able to focus on their own mental health and wellness. I strongly believe that teachers cannot just continue running over and over, doing years of school, plus some teachers also do summer school and everything else without taking a moment for themselves and being able to replenish themselves in a way that is nurturing, in a way that is focused on helping them to come back to our classrooms equipped to continue serving our communities. So our focus here at Revitalized, during our experience, when the teachers come with us in July, we are going to take them through several workshops that focus on fitness, nutrition, mental health and wellness, and self-care. We want to make sure that once we return you, your teachers, they are coming back revitalized to be able to impact their communities. So, as you know, the backbone of our initiative is our crowdfunding campaign. Teachers from across the globe have been already nominated. Each will be featured here on our talk show so that you can see and hear from them directly and hear their stories, hear their passions, and hear how they are impacting their community and their education systems. And we are encouraging the community then to show your appreciation for their hard work by contributing any amount through our crowdfunding campaign. Our link is on our website, or you can follow this bit.ly link that is available here as well. Our donation link is bit.ly/revitalized donations, and that will navigate you straight to our crowdfunding campaign. Or you can go to our website, www.revitalized.com, and on the top right hand corner you will find our donation link where you can donate as well. And while we wait for our teacher to rejoin us and continue our conversation around how she is impacting the community and as well as her differently abled students, we want to share, I'd love to share or make an open call then to persons to reach out to us. So here's some information. Let's see if I can pull it up very quickly. These are links to our social media channels. So we have TikTok, YouTube, as you're streaming now, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Whichever channel you use, connect with us and share the information. This is the least expensive way to show your support for this initiative. By sharing our content, you make us able to reach more people and be able to share the stories of these wonderful teachers. Right now, we are in our campaign phase. So, of course, we are raising the capital to be able to cover the cost for their trip. Once we have closed off this campaign, we will be, of course, booking the tickets for teachers to join us in Jamaica. They will experience 5 days of luxury in Jamaica that is all expense paid. This covers their flights, their accommodations, activities, workshops, and at the end of the experience, we'll be hosting a gala event that will be streamed live here on our YouTube channel as well. So we are going to share as much of this experience with you as you follow along the journey. So on On the 19th of July, we will be live in Jamaica at our award ceremony, and we'll open that up to the community so that you can see your teacher receive her official reward or award rather for her excellence and contribution to her community, and you'll be able to chime in and share that experience with us. Then the teachers will, of course, return. Again, as I said before, to make this possible, you can start with following our pages and sharing our content. Secondly, what you can also do is connect with us if you are a creative or an influencer. If you are a creative or influencer and you have an audience and you would love to share this information with your audience, we are open to collaborating with you to either host you here on our show or also co-create an event or experience where the proceeds can go towards our teachers. So for example, if you create a t-shirt line or an accessories line and you would like to create a specific item that is sold on behalf of our teachers, that is branded for the teachers, then that can be one way that you can contribute to this initiative as well. In the future, we will be creating some sustainability models into this program to make sure that year after year, we can bring a delegation of teachers with us through on this experience. So we will be creating our own line of products and as well as events that will raise the funds to cover the cost of bringing our teachers from across the globe to the destination of choice for that year. So if you are a creative and you want to share your creative abilities with us, you can connect with us as well, and we can decide on how or what we will create together to support and build sustainability into this initiative. We don't have Teacher Victoria back with us as yet. So in the meantime, what I'd like to do is share with you what will be coming up next. So tomorrow we will be back here live again at 7 p.m. And I will be sharing another backstory of an amazing teacher. And we will make the announcement of which teacher in a bit. And then on Saturday, we have our ambassador from Ghana that will be joining our show, Dr. Genevieve Pearl Duncan will be live with me on Saturday at 7 p.m. as well. So each event is on Saturday. Then on Sunday, we have another teacher. So we'll be alternating shows with our ambassadors as well as our teachers. So you can meet everyone who is a part of this experience and truly be a part of this with us. And thankfully, we have our teacher back with us now, Miss Victoria. Welcome back to the show. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry for that
Hi.
hiccup.
Oh, no
Yeah.
worries. You know how this technology works when it's working and it doesn't work when it doesn't work. So we fully
Yeah.
understand. Yes, but thank you so much for rejoining the conversation. I was just sharing some backstories about what the Revitalized project is all about and how persons can support the initiative and what will be happening as we progress forward. But let's get back to the conversation of mental health and how we deal with mental health in the classrooms and as well as individually. And one of the things that we have been reading about and learning about is how the pandemic impacted the school system in general, but also post-pandemic, how we're handling the adaptations that we needed to make during that time. And I'm interested in learning more about how you went through the pandemic and how you have adapted now post-pandemic. Share with us just your backstories of, what this experience was and how it impacted you and your school.
Um, it was bad, like for everybody else. especially for us Africans, we are outdoor people. Being inside, we are outdoor. Even our setup of life is to go out. You wake up and you are out. You come back home only to sleep. So basically, we actually found out that our kids were actually technically advanced and equipped as much. My apologies. I'm
Yes, no
currently
worries.
in a restaurant,
Yes.
so please do not mind the background.
Yeah.
So we found out that our kids were actually advanced because when we started pulling out laptops and computers, we found that some of them already know how to operate computers and laptops. As much as they are special needs, they knew how to do certain things already. And we started really to know that, oh, we should actually do more in the
Include.
e-learning. And it's something we're
Yeah.
even promoting at this stage to have it both at the same time. As much as we do the practical lessons, we also have to incorporate the ICT, the information technology department in it as well.
That is fantastic. So share with us then also, what are some of your goals for your school? What are some of your goals for, the development of even your IT department? What are some things that you would like to see in the future for your school and as well as just for education in Namibia?
Um, what I would like to see is our kids getting the opportunity to do much more, given the platform in vocational, in universities. They're extremely smart. We have a 12-year-old boy who's doing high school mathematics. Of course, there's a challenge in communication because of his autism, but he's extremely smart. One knows the dates and days of next year, December. If you ask him what will be the day, he will tell you it's on a Wednesday. And you have to
Wow.
confirm whether it's in the calendar. So I believe they are also a fitting puzzle piece to what we are missing in this world when it comes to innovation.
Mhm.
But if they're given the platform for them to showcase some of these talents and skills, we might just live in a better world and have
Absolutely.
answers to certain things that we don't have the knowledge and ability to do so. Because they have remarkable skills that we sometimes wonder, how does this child know how to read? You are starting school,
Yeah.
but you know how to read. How do you know how to calculate that it would be Wednesday next year or 20th December 2024? How do you know that?
Right.
So these abilities can be able to innovate some missing aspect to that we, especially in the technology world as well. In
Yeah.
physical science, they are very smart in science, math, and art as well. And art
Yeah.
is where everything is manufactured, developed. So that is another area if they're given the platform where they can explore. And this is not just in our school, it is in the whole education fraternity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in our country, in all over.
Yeah. In St. Martin, we've been part of several conversations. And even when more and more technologies come out, we always encourage or we advocate then for us to leap forward as opposed to just going through the journey that other countries have been through. If we know that technology and AI and all these other things are coming on stream, then let's just skip, the lengthy process and let's jump straight into these technologies so that our kids can be current and advanced and learn these different subjects. Because I believe that technology will provide a very great opportunity for our young people. And as you said, they almost are born knowing it already. So you,
Yes.
you put a computer in front of a young person and it seems like they are innately wired to deal with this device.
And they are much
Whereas
focused. They are much
yes.
focused on those devices.
Oh, absolutely. And as you said, we should play to their advantage. So if this is what
Of
they
course.
like and this is what they do well, then we should spend some time putting in in effort into, teaching them these skills. So I'm hopeful that that becomes a reality for not only for your school, but as well as schools across the globe as we embrace technology and we embrace these different methodologies going forward in years to come. So thank you for that.
Thank
As
you
we
as
wrap
well.
up, as we kind of wrap up our conversation around, yourself, what is some things that you want to leave people knowing about you? We're making this open call for this initiative, but what are some things that people definitely need to know about Miss Teacher Victoria and what you have in store and what impact you want to make in your community and as well as in your school?
Okay, Teacher Victoria is a very ambitious, very energetic, spontaneous, adventurous, and bold, extremely bold.
Mhm.
Um, Child of God. I'm a Christian, and I believe that everybody has a purpose in this world, and I'm following mine. And I encourage everybody to find their purpose in Christ and as a human being.
Yeah,
So basically, it's that I will forever advocate for inclusive education and inclusive society for all, for as long as I'm still granted days to live on this world. And it's not only in Namibia, in Africa, but all over the world. And I'm willing to share my knowledge, my experience, and skills with any other that would like to also go with me along in advocating and promoting inclusive society, especially within the fraternity of education, employment as well, so that when our kids get educated, they become adults. They are not kids, so that they
yeah.
can also be employed and be resourceful people in their everyday life.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have a very close friend, and she often says, "We are not raising children, we're raising adults. So we're
Of
not
course.
teaching them to be kids, we're teaching them to be adults. So we should give them all the resources they need to be effective adults." And I strongly agree with that statement, to raise kids to be the type of leaders that we need in our communities that will continue to develop our countries for years to come. So I'm thankful for your focus on a very, very often overlooked portion of our society, because anyone with any challenge at all is often just skipped over because it takes too much time, or it requires a little more effort, and anything that requires some more effort, we're often adverse to it. And we're hopeful that your community and the communities around the world reach out to you and contribute to your school and the further development of your initiatives. Do you have currently any goals for the school that you're currently campaigning for, even outside of our project? But what is in store for your school at the moment?
Yes, we have school land, and we are raising funds to get our school constructed on the approved building plan. And then we also have the ICT department that we want to develop, where we are in needs of technical support, computers, laptops, smart TVs. I also learned that we have smart boards,
Yeah,
smart boards as well. Those are all the stuff that we
yeah,
need. Luckily, in terms of work, we recently just had a German expert that trained our teachers. So that was great support as well for our teachers to gain more knowledge and skills. But
mhm,
exchange programs is also something that I would like collaboration with other schools that are doing the same similar thing, where my teachers can go to another country and learn something, and we exchange knowledge and transfer skills to each other.
Yes, I am proud of the work that you're doing, and we are definitely going to advocate for persons to not only contribute to making sure that you get this experience, because I strongly believe that you need to be nourished and replenished to be able to continue working. But I also believe that what you're doing locally within your community and within your school is also worthy of some spotlight and for persons to be able to contribute to that. So further on throughout our campaign, we will share more information of where persons can reach out to you or contribute in any way that they can to what you are doing with your school. Um, so thank you so much. I often hear persons debate with us, or we've had several discussions with persons that tell us or say that we should focus more on developing schools and everything else. And while I agree largely that schools need to be built and more resources need to be allocated to the school resources and development, I also believe that an equipped teacher can function in any space. So,
Of course.
uh, yeah, so I believe that we can't have teachers crashing and burning or being burnt out. So, your mental health and your ability to continue to press forward is still our top priority. And we're hopeful that someone in the community will also reach out to also give you the resources that you need to be able to effectively teach our kids. So both of these initiatives, I believe, are both important to the furtherance of your school and as well as of your teachers. We are thankful that we're able to at least contribute a small portion to your own personal development. And we are excited to have you join us in July. The days are rolling by really quickly. We
Oh,
have one
yes.
more week left in May. So we're encouraging persons, as I said, to reach out to us, check out our pages. As I said earlier, you can make your donations here for now. We will be sharing more details about all our teachers and as well as more information about Miss Victoria as the campaign continues to progress. Head over to our TikTok page, everyone, if you would like more information. We're going to be doing some special things there on TikTok as well. So like and subscribe to our TikTok page. We have now reached 1,000 followers, so we can go live on TikTok. So we may do a special edition campaign on TikTok. So look forward to that. We will be making the announcements of upcoming talks on different channels soon. So much more things in store as we roll out this campaign, and we will be campaigning until the end of June, making sure that we hit our mark and every single teacher that has been nominated for 2023 gets to join us in our experience. Thank you again, Miss Victoria. It was a delight to first be introduced to you, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Any final words before we wrap up?
I would just like to say thank you so much to Miss Johanna Cloete from Namibia for nominating me. It's a great honor to know that my work or our work, I always say our because it's not mine alone, is being observed by people around us and by the right leaders that can actually say your name out of your presence. So I'm very thankful for Miss Johanna Cloete from Namibia. And I thank God for answering to this prayer because I prayed for a break and I thought the 2 days break that I took was enough, but he had much more better for me in the Caribbeans of Jamaica. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and thank you to you and your team. I really thank God for putting this in your heart, as well as everybody that is involved for coming up with this initiative. Mental health is something very important, and for us, especially teachers, because we have people's life at stake, people's future at stake, and we need to be mentally fit to deliver the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So much.
thank you. I can't
You're
wait to
most
see you.
welcome. Yes, and also I'm getting to know and love each one of you, each and every one of you. All the teachers are now becoming very dear friends, and I'm so excited to see you in person. A few weeks more before we meet up in person and we get to socialize and hang out and have a good time. I look forward to meeting you, and we will be seeing you again throughout the campaign. Maybe in a few weeks we'll have you back with us to share more about your school and what you're doing. So take care. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Crystal. Likewise.
You're welcome. So that was our show for today. As I mentioned, we will be going live every single day throughout our campaign, all the way to the end of June, sharing and giving you insights into the persons that we will be impacting through this campaign. I know that you will love them just as much as we have grown to love them. Thank you for every person that is contributing. I will be sharing more about our ambassadors, our partners, our team, and everyone that worked in the background to make this possible. I am the host of Revitalized, and I am proud to be spearheading this initiative for our teachers. Stay tuned for more. Talk soon. We would like to say a special thank you to Revitalized Namibia Ambassador and Gen Namibia MD, Ms. Johanna Cloete. Thank you for helping us to identify the amazing teachers from Namibia who are doing exceptional work within the education systems. We are thankful for your assistance in helping us to not only identify these teachers, but also to partner with us to make it possible to have them join us for Revitalize 2023. We are thankful to all your partners in Namibia for also joining forces with you and contributing to this initiative. Thank you all in advance for your service. If you need more information about how to contribute, donate, or just ask a question about Revitalize, you can reach out to us via email. Our email address is email us at revitalizestar.com. Further details are also available on our website at revitalizestar.com. You can also schedule a meeting with me, Crystal Legrand, if you have any in-depth information that you would like to know that you could not find on our website, and my Calendly link is in the description. For donations, head over to bit.ly/revitalized donations, or you can go to our website. At the top right-hand corner, there is a donation button ready and waiting for your contribution. We invite you to stay up to date as well and follow us at Revitalized Star on all our social media platforms. These include TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Follow us behind the scenes as we journey towards July the 15th to the 20th, where teachers will be joining us from across the globe to experience Revitalized 2023. Thank you for watching, and join us tomorrow for our next episode.